Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. In this video, we're going to learn about create locations, which is a part of MB800 in configure sales and purchasing 15 to 20%. And the subtopic is set up inventory, and then is the third topic is called create locations. So basically, the locations services is very important. Locations are places such as warehouses, where you buy, store, or sell items. Business Center uses locations to help keep track of inventory in both simple and complex warehouse processes. For example, if we go towards the location, can give you a small example for Amazon. If you got Amazon account, then obviously you get the delivery from the different location, and then in locations they've got different zones, and in different zones they've got bins. So that means it's all activity to find out where the items are, where the items are stored, what's of the purchase item, what's the sales item. So it's all covered in the inventory setup, and obviously in this section. So we're gonna go towards the create a location. So first thing is first, so new location, we'll learn about those as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open another tab, so we can just see what's the location like. So I'm gonna open another window where I can open one's already made location in trial version. So I have opened two cards. One's the yellow warehouse location, which is called location card as yellow. That's the new one. So let's say we say purple, for example. That's the code. Then the name of the location will be here. So purple warehouse. Okay, so you can see this is already we got in it's made in trial version, and we made a new location. So we're gonna go through all of that, and I'll explain these tabs as well if I can. The next option we got here is use as in transit. So I'm gonna click that to turn it on. You're gonna see the change is gonna be here, or towards the bins. So bins at the moment are hidden. You can't really change anything. So if you do that, you can see all of them are de-highlighted. You can't change anything from there. So this means this location is an in-transit location. That's why it's not showing up in the warehouses. So somewhere in the middle, we've got different, you can say, zone or area where it's located, or it's still in transit and it's still moving. So if you close that, it will ask you further details. So let's say we put the address like road, say Birmingham, postcode. These both codes are given. So obviously it's a trial version, so that's why I'm selecting that contact. Okay. So name the person at the location. So let's say Emmett. Phone number 07. Fax number, email. Let's say I use dynamics at gmail.com, for example. Homepage, if you got any homepage. In this area, I'm gonna show you something. Obviously, it's very important. If you click on online map, if you wanna see where this is located, it will take you to a different page. And it's going to ask you show map with this address, direction from location, wherever you're from, or others. So I'll just say show me this address. So the new tabs open, and obviously it gives me the location on Google Maps or whichever maps Business Center is using. So Morning Hall Road, and obviously the address is showing up here. But obviously it's a trial version, so it just clicks get the random. If you have actually set up everything on essential or premium one, then you probably get the exact location as well. But it's only for mapping. Obviously, you can see the map there as well. Right. So next option is got the warehouse one. You can also see the map here. If you click show on map, it will ask you the next instruction, and it will go according to that. So the important part now is warehouse, which is called the area where you're going to keep your goods or items or anything which is related to the company or inventory. Purchase, sales and service and transfer section is this one. So if we go the first one, let's check all these. What are these for? So the first one is require receive. If you turn this on and off, that will give you the information, and it will specify if the location requires a receipt document when receiving items. Require shipment specifies if the location requires a shipment document when shipping items. Next one is require put away. It specifies if the location requires a dedicated warehouse activity when putting items away. Require pick, and it shows obviously if the location requires a dedicated warehouse activity when picking items. Next one is production. Obviously we got all of these. We got a few options: no warehouse handling, warehouse pick optional, inventory pick optional, warehouse pick optional. So the first one is the production consumption warehouse handling. That shows the warehouse handling for consumption in production scenarios. Production output warehouse handling, it specifies the warehouse handling for output in production scenarios. Assembly side, if you check assemblies, it says assembly consumption warehouse handling. The similar items, the list shows the similar items as well in the list. So this one is for the warehouse handling for consumption in assembly scenarios, and the next one is for the job side, which specifies the warehouse handling for consumption in job scenarios. If you go towards this option, bin mandatory, you can see different options happening there. Then just look at this area of bins. If you activate bin mandatory, it'll activate some of the production options and assembly on this side. So the bin mandatory is specifies if the location requires that a bin code is specified on all item transactions. Next one is directed put away and pick. Let's see, what does it do that? So did you see that? It changes all of that and these if you activate this one. That means it shows it specifies if the location requires advanced warehouse functionality such as calculated bin suggestions. So it's all goes towards the bin because this is activated as well. If you deactivate it with that will deactivate everything. Use put away worksheet specifies if put aways for posted warehouse receipt must be created with the put away worksheets. I mean, if the checkbox is not selected, put aways are created directly when you post a warehouse receipt. Then we got default bin selections. So the default bin selection is only possible when you put bin mandatory, turn it on, and it will show you fixed bin and last use bins. So you can actually specify the method used to select the default bins here. Outbound warehouse handling, it specifies a data formula for the time it takes to get item ready to ship from this location. No, that was for the, yes, it was for that. So inbound warehouse handling, obviously inbound and outbound, two different things. Inbound will be you bring the goods in, outbound goods are going out. So that's probably used for customers, and these are for vendors. So inbound one, it specifies the time it takes to make items part of available inventory after that item have been posted as received. Base calendar code, you can choose the base calendar code if you got anything made there. And then that specifies a customizable calendar for planning that holds the locations, working days and holidays. Customized calendar, you can customize the planned calendar as well, which specifies if the location has a customized calendar with working days that are different from those in company's base calendar. And then we got use cross-docking. You can use the cross-docking as well. And so if the location supports movement of items directly from the receiving docks to the shipping docks, so that you can turn this on. And then you've got the cross-dock due date calculations, which is the cross-dock due date calculations if you want to calculate the due date. Then we go towards the bins. The bin first option shows received bin code, so it can be any code you've already made, and so it specifies the default received bin code. Shipment side, shipment bin code will be a default shipment bin code. Production side, open shop floor bin code that specifies the bin that functions as the default open shop. To production bin code is the bin in the production area. Excuse me. Let's go back to production. So open shop floor bin code that specifies the bin that functions as the default open shop, and the to production bin code is the bin in the production area where components picked for production are placed by default before they can be consumed. So it can be different locations as well from there. From production bin code, it shows the bin in the production area where finished end items are taken from by default when the process involves warehouse activities. And then we got adjustment bin code. In adjustments, you can use the code of the bin in which you record observed differences in inventory quantities. Cross-docking bin. Cross-docking bin is the bin code that is used by default for receipt of items to be cross-docked. So the cross-docking is basically when you cross-dock items, you process items in receiving and shipping without ever placing them in store. So therefore, obviously, the item through the pull away and pick process and limiting the physical handling of items. So next one is assembly. To assembly bin code, obviously it's a different code, which the code in the assembly area where components are placed by default before they can be consumed in assembly. From assembly bin code. The from assembly bin code is the bin in the assembly area where finished assembly items are posted to when they are assembled to stock. The next one is this one is the bin where finished assembly items are posted to when they are assembled to a linked sales order. To job bin code, obviously it's a job one. It's the bin where an item will be put away or picked in warehouse and inventory process at this location or anything else. For example, if you choose this location on a job planning line, this bin will be suggested for that. Then we got bin policies. So this first one shows a special equipment. If you got special equipment according to the bin or according to SKU items, where the program will first look for special equipment designated for warehouse activities. Then you got bin capacity policy. So basically we're doing these bins policies here. So bin capacity policies is how bins are automatically filled according to their capacity. And then we got check warehouse class, where if the warehouse class should be checked, allow break bulk. That's specified that an order can be fulfilled with items stored in alternate units of measure if an item stored in the required unit of measure is not found. put away side, and then you got pick side. So put away bin policy is specifies how bins are automatically selected for inventory. Put away template code is specifies the put away template to be used at this location. Always create put up line. If you want to activate that, you can do that. Always one shows that a put away line is created even if the appropriate zone and bin in which to place the item cannot be found. And last one is the pick one. So that's the picking policy. Pick bin policy is you can do default or bin ranking according to that. It shows how bins are automatically selected for inventory picks. Always create pick line specifies that the pick line is created even if an appropriate zone and bin from which to pick the item cannot be found. And the last one is shows pick according to FEFO, whether to use the first expired first out method to determine which item to pick according to expiration date. So you got resource locations. You can locate the resources location, and then you got zones, bins. So let's click the zones here. Right, so you've got no zones, but you can select, you obviously put the zones code and description and bin type code and warehouse class code from there, wherever you want to put it there. And you can put zone ranking as well. And if you go back to bins, bins are different than zones. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so that's empty as well. So I'm gonna cancel this one. Let's see if we got something in white ones. Be easier to see the details. Yes. So you got different zones here. You can see an example there. So the zone code is adjustment bulk crossing operations, and then description, it gives you virtual for adjustment bulk storage. That's the bin code, and this one shows special equipment code, obviously the forklift truck if you need it. Zone parking 60, and obviously cross stocking bin if you need it. You click it like that, and that's zoning is done. If you go towards the bins, so you got these bins available. So you put different codes there, 001, 0001, 23, and according to that you put the bin ranking. So that's like warehousing, how you tag your bins and everything in the warehouse. For example, if you have this, let's take it, this page is like a warehouse. You've got different zones like general, address, and contact, warehouse, bins. If you got 4 zones, then you got, for example, these bins are, if you take these fields as bins, so it's how it works like that. So some of the bins would be for inbound, some of them would be outbound, and obviously you could do cross docking as well. If the next option is inventory posting setup. So if you want to set up your inventory posting setup, you can do that as well. So this is already I'm taking from a warehouse, obviously location setup. So it says the location is white. You can change the locations from there. Inventory posting group code, what is that? That's a resale, or you've got other obviously posting groups as well. Finished raw material resale. You can put the description there, and then the last option you select from there is mostly the account type. So 64, let's copy that, 140, there we go. So 64100 is raw material, and then supplies and consumables, and obviously it's taken from goods for resale. That's why it's this one, the inventory account. And then according to that, obviously you fill in these details and find out about the posting group as well. So you can also add warehouse employees. Which employees do you have? If you want to select it from there, you can do that. You can put that, and it will save automatically. And that's just for the warehouse employees. You can put a default one as well, and then you can put their location as well. Where is this person, and it is a warehouse employee. Dimensions, obviously, is it's very important. Obviously, you use dimensions for reporting and etc. You can put the different dimensions, and you could select different codes from there, and value posting, obviously code mandatory, as we learned in dimension when we started, and allow value filters as well if you want to allow any value filters as well or not. So here we go. It's not selecting for some reason, that's fine. Right, and well, we got more options. That's Power Automate. It takes you different, obviously, Power Apps. So we don't learn this in this video. So I hope you understand the basics of location card and how it works in Business Central. And thanks for watching.